All right, there's Alphonzo Davis coming in tonight. And certainly, as I was starting to say, Smitty, a good yardstick. He's been stopped 7 times, and that'll tell us whether Shane Cameron can fight or not. But how do they match up on paper as we take a look at Shane Cameron there? Our tail of the tape here, as you see, Cameron only one professional fight. Davis, the more experienced of the two. Cameron, the taller. Weight about the same. Slight reach advantage for Cameron. We see if he can do it. And, of course, Davis 8 years older. Getting ready now for our official introductions. And we're going to go up to our ring announcer, the magnificent Mark Biro.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Silver State Pavilion at the Reno Hilton for an evening of the Everlast Boxing Explosion. Under the promotion of Cedric Kushner Promotions, your matchmaker is Eric Botcher. Tonight's bouts are under the auspices of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. Luther Mack. Your commissioners are Dr. Tony Alamo, Skip Avancino Jr., John Bailey, and Dr. Flip Homensky. The executive director is Mark Ratner. This is your first Everlast Boxing Explosion event of the evening, scheduled for 4 rounds in the heavyweight division. Your referee for this event is Victor Alegria. Introducing first, in the red corner to my left, wearing red trunks with a white trim and weighing in at 215 pounds, he has a professional record that reads 4 victories, 11 defeats, 1 draw, and 2 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Las Vegas. Here is Alphonzo Davis. His opponent in the blue corner, wearing the silver trunks with the black waist trim and weighing in at 212 pounds. His professional record, 1 victory, no defeats. That win coming by way of knockout. He hails from Tini Roto, Gisborne, New Zealand, and hails now out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Here is Shane the Mountain Man Cameron. 4 rounds in the heavyweight division.
Okay, gentlemen, I've given you instructions in dressing rooms. You guys are professionals. Expect you to conduct yourselves as such. This will be considered a low blow right below this. This is a little low blow right here. You guys have any questions from the blue corner?
Get that down below the belly button.
Anything below this would be considered low.
Get that down below the belly button.
That's fine right there. You have any questions from the red corner? Protect yourselves at all times and obey my commands at all times. Touch them up. Go to your corners.
Well, Kevin Barry starting right in with Victor Alegria there. He didn't like where Alphonzo Davis's shorts are, Smitty.
Well, that'll tell you that they expect Shane to go to the body early and often of Davis.
Now, I think that was really not about, he wasn't worried about the body shots. That was a fashion statement. He thinks that he should be wearing them lower, sort of that hip hugger style.
Cameron's been chomping at the bit to resume his professional career. He's only had 1 pro fight. He was victorious in that one in November of 2002. A very good amateur, though, Arnie.
Well, and one of the things I was touching on a little bit as we were starting off here is the fact that Davis is a veteran of 15 pro fights, and that still, in spite of the fact that he's 4-11, gives him a little bit of an advantage over Cameron.
He does, but I think what evens that up is the fact that as an amateur, Cameron was 48-8, 26 KOs, New Zealand heavyweight champion. He won the Oceanic Games and bronze medalist in the Commonwealth Games. So that may be the equalizer, but certainly as a pro, this gentleman has 15 pro fights. Not the greatest record in the world, but a good barometer for Cameron at this point.
We mentioned Kevin Barry there. Kevin Barry, of course, the trainer of David Tua, stablemate of Cameron, both from New Zealand. And what kind of pressure does that put on a young fighter like Cameron to be in a stable with a fighter like Tua?
I think it does just the opposite. He's gotten. I watched him his first day of sparring with David Tua, and just the fact of getting in there against the Tua man on a weekly basis, I think is tremendous help for him.
A lot smaller, of course, than Tua. He only weighs 212 pounds. Not exactly a big heavyweight by today's standards.
No, he's not. And that he works hard. I expect him to go to the body a lot, and I know that that's what they want him to do to try to break Davis down.
Alphonzo Davis, his last fight was just this past April 26th, and he lost a very close 4-round decision to Willie Chapman. Same Willie Chapman that we saw on the Explosion just a while back. So Alphonzo Davis capable of putting on a good show.
Sticking his chin up in the air is wide open for the left hook, Davis is. If Cameron would go downstairs to the body and then come up with the head shot, because Davis is sticking that head up there. There's the body shot.
There it is. Davis stopped 7 times in his 11 losses, so as we said, nice barometer for the punching power of Cameron if he can take Davis out tonight. Wanting to keep him up.
Let's go.
And perhaps that was
What Kevin was talking about.
Kevin knew that was going to be the case. Nice right hand drops in there by Davis. Davis not a big puncher, only 2 knockouts in his 4 wins. Then again, he's not a big winner, so it's hard to judge his punching power based on KOs.
Both of these guys right now, not the greatest balance in the world, but Shane doing a better job of trying to break his opponent down. You can see he doesn't have much respect for the power of Davis.
And perhaps rightfully so, but again, these are heavyweights and anything can happen at any given time. Always just one punch away.
Let go.
Nice right over the top. Punctuate the end of the first round, and Cameron smelled that he had Davis hurt.
Time. Hey.
What are you doing in here? Not putting anything in the bucket. Wait for this guy to get you before you do anything. You're staring at left hand real low, but you know you're not doing anything. Look at that left hand. Break that goddamn jab and start unloading that right hand. Stop just letting this guy hit you. Understand me? I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be close, will you? If you don't straighten up, I'm starting to get you straight. You get out here and do what the hell you know how to shoot. Okay? So, let's work this jab. Check it down. Go. Mouth guard. Mouth guard. Here we go.
Round number 2, this is heavyweight schedule for 4. Young Shane Cameron, his only second pro fight, but had a great amateur career, as you were pointing out, Smitty.
And I think you'll see Shane start to sit down on his punches, look for that left hook to start going to the body and the head.
Shane's in the silver and black, Alphonzo Davis, red and white. Again, Davis, the veteran of 15 pro fights.
Poor balance, though, by Davis, and he squares himself up when he comes on the inside, wide open for left or right.
Cameron showing a lot of poise, too. I like the way he goes downstairs to the body and then comes upstairs. A lot of fighters go to the body and then they don't continue upstairs.
And I think that a product of those amateur fights and the work that Kevin Barry has done with him. And, again, working with Tua, you learn early and often to have good defense. There's that left hook I mentioned, Arnie.
Oh, he just hurt Davis with a shot on the top of the head, and Davis finding himself in the corner, and he's holding on.
Watch your head. Watch your head. Break. Step back.
Cameron doing a good job of breaking Davis down. Davis had some success in round number 1 with the jab in the right hand, but his jab is sort of just a paw now instead of any snap to it.
Davis knows how to survive, especially in the short distance fights. If you're scheduled for 4, you're going to really have to jump on him. Otherwise, he's become a professional opponent. He's going to last the 4 rounds because he wants to fight another day and not get suspended.
He's dropping that left hand, though, after he throws. He's wide open for the right now. When he lays that left hand out there, he drops it.
But that wide right from the outside was the first amateurish thing I saw Cameron do, but that uppercut wasn't amateurish at all.
And a nice little flurry by Davis as well.
What kind of plans do you think they have for Cameron putting on additional weight?
Yeah, they've talked about that. Actually, he's already put on about 5 pounds since their training setup is in Las Vegas, and he's already put on some weight, and they have a good strength and conditioning program Kevin Barry has implemented. He's just missing that left hook, I think, which could end things here.
And that hook off the jab, which is one of the tougher things to learn.
It is tough, though. You're right. Being a heavyweight, that around 215 pounds. Interesting to think that 10 pounds more than Joe Frazier was, but so smallish in today's game. Big right hand there by Cameron.
Nice right hand lead too, and it was nice to see him throw that. Davis wobbly here, but appears to be able to get through the second round. Oh, I spoke too soon. Davis down and out here at the end of the second. Why is Victor Alegría even counting?
He's not going to make it.
It's over. Just when it looked like Alphonzo Davis was going to survive, as he spits his mouthpiece out there. Nice combination by Shane Cameron, and correct me if I'm wrong, Smitty, it looked like the right hand did.
I think it was. We mentioned the left hook early, but then, of course, he was dropping that left hand, Davis was, and that left the right hand open, and Cameron really started to unload on his punches at the end of that second round.
And took advantage of that slooping left hand or drooping left hand of Alphonzo Davis. And if I have any criticism, it would be a Victor Alegría counting to 10.
That's one of those situations where the way he went down, you could see that he wasn't getting up. Although he did try, but he was out.
And he's still down. Not getting up too quickly. That's why I would have had that doctor in there a lot sooner. As Davis seems to be wrestling too, but...
Hey, that's an impressive U.S. debut for Shane Cameron.
And, gee, the height of the shorts weren't exactly important, were they?
I think Kevin may have pulled a fast one on him, trying to fool him. It was the height of the chin that ended up being the downfall of Davis. Let's hope, though, that he's all right.
And I think that, again, we mentioned the poise of Shane Cameron as we were talking there, Smitty. And first time in the United States, fighting in arguably the mecca of boxing, the state of Nevada. And coming in against a fighter that had 15 professional fights, in spite of the fact that it was a 4-11 record. But we take a look here.
Get a chance to see Shane stalking, body shot, left hook. You see the chin, big right hand. Fortunately, that right leg didn't totally bend, or you could have had a real problem with not only the chin, but the leg. Watch this, over the top, and down he goes. And you could see right there that he was out. Watch the way he gets his body into this shot. Follows through and gets the KO.
Well, again, you look at that picture and what an argument it builds for why you should not be counting. And finally now, as this whole time we've been reviewing the replays, Alphonzo Davis is still on the floor. And they're not rushing to get him off the floor, so apparently they see something there that they're not happy with.
Right, the doctor's checking him out. Fortunately, they have so much experience here in Nevada.
And apparently he's holding that right eye as well. And that's not where he got hit, so I wonder if there's something neurological that took place from that shot. And in these cases, every second counts.
Haven't opened them yet.
Cameron generated a lot of power. We were talking about him being sort of, by today's standards, a smallish heavyweight, but he really does a good job of getting all of what he has into his punches.
And a lot of that you can make up for lack of size by just how you're planting your feet and how you're putting your body into your shots.
Balance and conditioning, and Kevin's done a great job with him.
And Alphonzo Davis finally stands up, draws applause from the crowd here as they've got him still sitting on a stool, though, in the middle of the ring, almost right above us. And again, not rushing to have him leave.
Well, I think they're doing the right thing by taking as much time as they can, because you don't want a fighter to get outside the ring and in the dressing room and change, because sometimes the problems can develop later on.
Well, you could see what a big shot this was, and
right over the top, found the opening, saw that the left hand was going down after he threw the jab, and capitalized on it.
And talk about throwing punches with bad intentions.
And
Did you see his face when he threw the shot?
There was a grimace, wasn't there? And it wasn't the pain. The pain would come, unfortunately, to that man who's still having some difficulty, I think.
Man, what the hell?
And very tough commission here as far as the medicals. They've just instituted a new rule that will be starting in June, that all fighters must have MRIs now.
And I think that that's good as long as they can find a way to make it affordable, for everybody and work out the financial details of it.
And that's been the big criticism of the rule thus far. And there's a lot of promoters trying to come up with some sort of pooling of money, I understand, that'll maybe have it work out. Because if you've got an undercard fighter who's maybe making real short money, an MRI can cost $500.
Right. And
the promoter can't afford it for the undercard fight, nor can the fighter himself. So they've got to come up with a way to do that.
They're taking every precaution with Alphonzo Davis. That was a devastating knockout. And again, like I said, we've seen cases you and I have where a fighter leaves the ring and then has a problem. So they want to really make sure that he's okay and doesn't need to perhaps go to the hospital for further checkups. Usually for this type of a situation, they would probably recommend something like that.
And Alphonzo Davis, sometimes you see the fighter saying, I'm okay, and he wants to get up, and he's not rushing to stand up. And he's no stranger to knockouts. This is the 8th time that he's been stopped in his career on a record that, unfortunately for him, will drop down to 4-12. And, of course, Shane Cameron remaining undefeated, 2 wins, both coming by way of knockout now. And what are Cameron's plans from what you know as far as staying more active? Because
here's what he hopes to do, a lot more of this. And watch the way Davis drops that left, good body shot, drops it and right on the side of the head. Almost a temple shot there, Arnie. And I think what they're really going to try to do is keep Cameron as busy as they can.
Any reason that you're aware of for why he hasn't fought since November of 2002 prior to this?
Well, I think part of it was the transition that Kevin wanted to get him down to Las Vegas, implement him into the camp, and I know that they did have some fights that fell through for him. So I think it's the adjustment to going down to the United States, training in Las Vegas, and I think it's been good. He's still a youngster. He's only 25 years of age, so.
And maybe the addition of weight, too. Maybe before he made his U.S. debut, they wanted to make sure he had that other 10 pounds on him. All right, finally up on his feet, walking around and going over to congratulate Shane Cameron on his U.S. debut is Alphonzo Davis. And we're going to get the official time of the stoppage from our ring announcer, Mark Biro.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 3 minutes, 9 seconds of the second round. The winner by knockout and still undefeated, Shane the Mountain Man Cameron.
Well, impressive debut for Shane Cameron. And when we return, our Ron Kruk is going to have some information on Anthony Thompson and perhaps a personal appearance as well. Stay with us.